Great question. Yeah. Do you want me to repeat the question back? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you want me to repeat the question for you guys? Yeah. So the question was, are we ever going to repair Garifraxa West, just east of BD Line? We were looking at that for later this year. It wasn't identified in our 213 capital program, but it took a pretty significant hit this winter, further deterioration. So what we've done is we've got our engineers to take a look at it, prepared kind of a plan to do, basically grind it up and repave it. So we're going to bring that recommendation to council to proceed with that. So from a staff perspective, we think this is a good project to go ahead this year, given its current state. If council approves, we'll be looking at hopefully getting that in the program this year. So that's the plan. Any other questions?
What are the things you've taken up and filling it back in on the property northwest? So the property that's north, or rather southeast of Hill Street and Highway 6. So in where
yes.
the old gas station used to be.
The old Petro-Canada station, right. Yes. So Brett may know a bit more, but that was a former gas station. I think maybe it was 6 or 7 years ago, they had a really deep hole on the property, and suspect they were probably doing some cleanup of the gas station kind of legacy. And moving forward, I believe there's probably been some environmental due diligence going on in the property, probably soil testing, groundwater testing, just to kind of see where things are. I believe there is some kind of redevelopment interest in the property, so they're probably just doing their homework in advance of that. So that's what's going on there. Is that about accurate, Brett? Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Hey,
you touched on the St. David Street Bridge needing some work at some point, and of course we're all aware that that's going to be fairly serious at some point. With the Connecting Link funding now gone, I guess, from the province, is there anybody got their crystal ball on when that one's going to get tackled?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it's if you go into the capital forecast, like our 10-year, we try to plan out over the next 10 years where the various projects will fall. Like currently that one's in 2014, but because the funding was pulled, and we have to do probably some design work to address the issues with the bridge. I imagine we'll likely be pushing that one off. So that's kind of the plan right now, but maybe Andy can address some of the Connecting Link funding aspects.
Yeah, so we had a meeting a couple weeks ago with the Ministry of Municipal Housing Affairs with regards to the Connecting Link, and that's a major issue for a lot of municipalities. That we just quietly got a letter in February saying they're no longer continuing the funding. And the provincial answer to us is we can now request through the 2014 grant program that they're going to be announcing hopefully sometime shortly later this year, that any funding for projects that were given back to us through a Connecting Link, that we can go through the grant program. So the difficulty for staff is going to be now trying to look at what are our priorities with regards to some of these Connecting Links. And I think it's about $3 million that's a hit on our budget that we hadn't planned for in the past. So also at that meeting, one of the things that we heard was from the province with regards to funding is that they're looking at municipalities to take on a lot more debt to address some of this infrastructure. With the province being in such a bad state with a debt load, they're going to be downloading a number of these projects and expecting municipalities to pick up and go into further debt. We have difficulty with that. In fact, we're actually managing our dollars properly and have an operating budget meets requirements in our revenue streams each year. And the province has gone over, and now they're asking us to follow their similar model of going into more debt. So that's a strategy. That's a difficulty that we're going to have to deal with for the province for the next several years.
Just a quick follow-up. And I really appreciate you guys all being here tonight. I'm really disappointed there's not more people in the audience to hear what you guys are here to say. The sorry, you said 214 maybe for that bridge? I was
no, I said
understanding.
so probably
Okay.
not 214. It's
Okay.
currently there, but just given the amount of work, the lack of funding, it'll probably be like 215.
Okay. My heart just stopped. That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
The accessible park on Garifraxa, I heard it was going to open July 1st. Is that true?
Yeah, that's a really exciting project. Community really got behind that project, and it came on real quick. It got started at an appropriate time. Commitments have been made by contractors, and the original date for opening was July 1. We have found out in the last week that the firm that's applying the rubberized surfacing, their schedule is out by a week to 10 days. So that's going to push the opening out by a couple of weeks at least. So we're not going to meet the July 1st opening.
So your question, just to repeat it, someone mentioned that we're going to close County Road 7 in August. It's correct. This is related to the Elora wastewater treatment plant expansion. Basically, the pipe that brings the wastewater into the plant going out into the county road needs to be replaced as part of the project. And in order to do that, we basically have to open up that whole intersection on the county road. So there's quite a bit of bedrock in the area too, which further complicates things. So I think the closing target date is actually July 15th, as we're looking at a closure, and it's going to be probably about kind of worst case 4 weeks to get that work done. We're hoping it goes smooth and it can be done quicker, but kind of as a worst case, we're looking for about a 4-week closure there.
Are there any more questions? Audience is quiet. Yeah, so Colin, being did they elect you to be the last presenter? Are you like the last car in the drive-through that gets to pay the bill? Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
That's for last.
Okay. So just in closing, the people at the front here, as I said, will be around for some time. If you do have any informal questions that you want to speak to them about, feel free coming forward and speaking with them. I'd like to thank the audience for coming out. And again, this is our second event. Last year, we did it at a similar time, and we're looking at, we do see huge value for businesses, for a chamber, for the municipality from a communication perspective and of doing this. We're hoping to move it a little earlier in the year. We do realize that right now with end of school and graduations and golf tournaments and a beautiful day that we've got lots of competition for the evening. So we do plan on doing this again next year, but probably closer into April because we do have to give the municipality time to finish their budget so they can actually share with us their projects and their plans for the upcoming year. Centre Wellington's a great place to live and do business in. Everyone has a stake in what goes on in our municipality, and your participation in tonight's town hall makes it a stronger business community. A special thanks to Roberta and Heather from the Chamber for helping to organize tonight, and Andy for his help in organizing the staff and the staff's time. If you are not involved with the Chamber and are interested, Roberta's here. If you have any questions, just quickly, a couple events that the Chamber has coming up next week, June 26th. We have our networking breakfast, which we have every month over the winter, fall, and spring season. It will be at Van Galli's this month, I should say, and the speaker will be Jennifer Stewart-May from Stabler Insurance, speaking of the value of commercial and business continuation insurance. The other announcement we have is that we're excited to say that we've secured Terry Davis from the VP and Chief Operating Officer from Home Hardware to come and speak as our keynote speaker for our business showcase in October. That will be October 17th. And finally, we are having a similar event to this evening, but with a county focus. We had it last year as well, and it will be October 30th at this facility with a county focus. So thank everybody again for coming out, and that brings an end to our evening. Thank you very much.